Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Orcas MyLeague series here in NBA 2K19. So in last episode we had the season simulation, and for our first time in franchise history we actually made the playoffs. We're going to be going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers because I have it as set to 1-16, so we're playing an Eastern Conference team in the first round. But as you can see, we made the playoffs going 46-36. I don't think I showed you all the individual team stats and stuff. So we were 25-15 on home court. On the road though, we were even 500 at 21-21. Against the conference, we weren't really that good. So that means we're 25-24, which means we were what is that against the other conference? 21 and something. 21-12. So yeah, I think we were really good against the Eastern Conference. So if we play Eastern Conference teams a lot, maybe we have a better chance of getting on to the next round. And then we were 7-8 against our own division, so that's not very good. But we were averaging a +2 point differential, 108.3 points, which is pretty damn good, and then 106.2 points against per game, which is a bit high. So. And then, like I was saying, we are actually playing the Cavaliers. Here is what they look like, because I showed you guys the roster last episode, but I'll show you guys again through this screen, because this screen's pretty cool. So, as you can see, last season and the year before this, they missed the playoffs going 40-42, so they're basically like us, just barely missing out. Their average age is 28. They have 28 playoff appearances, one NBA championship, which is when they won with LeBron in, I don't remember what season that was in real life. Their fan interest is up at 89.8%. They have a medium market size, and their total budget is $199 million. As you can see, they got Colin Sexton, Carlos Morales, Josh Jackson, Matt Carr, Clint Capella, and Cam Sloan as basically their starting six. And then after that, you got their bench players, which are all 80s and 70s as well, pretty much. So yeah, this team has a lot of good depth, except for this Moncrief guy's really bad. But other than that, they have a really good squad, I think. Their power ranking is number 5 as well, so it's going to be a very tough matchup. Here is their coaches and all that stuff, just in case you wanted to see that. And here's their strengths and their weaknesses. Apparently they're a really good rebounding team, a really good three-point team. They're good at blocking the ball. They're good at post defense. And they're pretty damn good also at mid-range scoring, so they're good all around. Their playmaking skills aren't the greatest, so they're not the greatest at throwing the ball away. So we might be able to get a few interceptions now and again because of that, because we have pretty good stealing apparently. And yeah, their stealing is really bad as well, so they're just not really good at making those little decisions. And then also, as you can see over the last few years, so this was their best season by far, 51-31. The last 3 years, though, they were just out of a playoff spot. And then before then, they were actually in a playoff spot, I think, with that record. So yeah, they have made playoffs a couple times, but they were in a little bit of a rebuild state for the last 3 years, I think. Unless they did make it one of these years with that record. So yeah, that's basically that. And then also split stats, you can see what they were like against us in specific. So they were averaging 122 points per game, 18 rebounds, 52.5 rebounds a game. I don't know if that's accurate. 26 assists a game. They were playing really good against us when they did play, but we were 1-1 against them in the season series. And now we move to us, like I was just showing you guys that same screen. I really like this screen, so we'll go to our stats so you guys can see how we are by comparison. So this is our first ever playoff appearance. We have a 69.2 fan interest. Our market is also medium, and we have a less of a budget, so that's probably why our roster is a bit worse. Our team looks pretty decent. We do have an injury. I forgot to mention Tom Morgan's out for the entire series. He probably won't be back till if we even make the finals, he won't be back till then, I think. So yeah, we have a pretty still balanced squad, pretty good system proficiency and whatnot. And as you can see, Tom Morgan is currently out for 4 to 6 weeks with an injury, which really sucks. And then here's our staff. And then our strengths and weaknesses, it says we have no weaknesses, which is good. But as you can see, our strengths, mid-range scoring is number 1, then 3-point scoring. So we're a really good scoring team. Our steals are also up there, which they didn't have. Creating their own or creating own shot is pretty good as well. So our team could find like lanes and whatnot. And then we have pretty good athleticism. And yeah, as you can see over our seasons, we went the same record as Cleveland last year, but we've been basically going up since 22-23. We kind of had a little like drop off from this season to that. And yeah, this is our first ever time in the playoffs. So actually, there was one last thing I wanted to show you guys, which is this shooting chart. As you can see, most of our offense comes from like inside the key, kind of like right in front of the goal. And then we also have a lot coming from that 205 to 507 one. That's his 40.4%. Like we get a lot from like just in the arc or whatever. And then there's also that one that's at 41.5. That's in the 3-point territory that we're pretty good from. So that's good to see. Actually, I didn't check that for Cleveland, seeing where they were good at shooting. Let's see. So from them, most of their offense also comes from inside, and then they also get a lot from that 47% one. So yeah, they're a pretty good offensive team, it looks like, as well. So anyways, enough of me mumbling about this stuff. It's kind of cool though, so I just wanted to show you guys that before we get into the series, since the simulation speed of this is really crazy. Let's get into game number 1. See if we could win our first ever playoff game. It's going to be in Cleveland. Wendell Hamlin is playing injured, so he's not going to be the greatest. And then also, like I said, we were missing Tom Morgan. So let's get this game underway. Let's put the simulation speed up a bit. We are down heavily in this first game. We need to have a really good second half or work our way back up, because we're down by like 13 points. But it's down to 10 points. We might be able to still come back in this if we have a good... Yeah, we're coming back. It's almost tied again. You can't sit on a lead for too long. We're in the third quarter, and it's a close game. We grabbed the lead now. 61 points. We're now going up in points. Now we're looking to just, like, knock them out. Come on, boys. Yeah, I think we might actually take this if we keep it up. But then again, a lot of teams could come back. Like, they're really close to us now. Oh, no, they grabbed the lead, and we tie it back up. This is actually a very tight game. And, oh, no. And they win in the final minute. 93 to 86. Damn, that was a heartbreaker. They outscored us 31-16 in that first quarter, and then we outscored them 27-16 and 28-13 in the third. But they did really good in the fourth quarter. So yeah, we had the second and third. They had the first and the fourth. So it was a pretty even game, only losing by, like I was saying, 7 points. So Jack Blackwell had 17 points that game. D'Angelo had 15 points. Erickson 11. Warren 10. Not too bad at all. Team comparison. Field goal percentage was same for almost for both teams. 36 to 37%. Same with 3-point percentage. Free throws, we were better. 14 for 15. Fast break points they had more of, so that's not good. Points in the paint were close. Yeah, a lot of the stuff were like really close actually. Assists and everything. Like, we're really similar teams, it seems like, in how we play. They had more blocks, and we both had the same amount of turnovers. We fouled more probably because we had intentional fouls late. Our biggest lead was by 13 points. Theirs was by 20 points, so they kind of goofed up a bit, but they managed to recover. And they had the possession for 3 more minutes almost than us. And then let's see, so anything else I could look at? I don't think so. So yeah, their only injuries, Ian O'Neal, I think his name is. 2 to 4 weeks left for Tom Morgan. Hopefully we could win this series, because I really would like to see Tom Morgan back, and then he could help us out a lot. So here we go, game number 2. Not going to change up anything with the rotation yet. Let's see if we could bounce back from that game and tie the series, because that was a pretty close first game. I don't know how the rest of the series will shape up, though. Game number 2, let's go all the way up to this speed. It's a close game again here early, but Cleveland's got the lead by like 10 points, which is never safe, but you never know. Yeah, we're coming back up almost again, and now they're trying to run away with it again. We might run out of time if we don't catch up soon, though. Oh, we're coming back again, trying hard to get back in this game. Oh boy, we've tied the game, and now it's back and forth again, just like last game. Damn, I like this series a lot, how close it is. I didn't expect it to be this close, but we have a very tight game too as well. Come on, boys, hold them off, hold them off. You can do this. And we are going to win our first ever playoff game in franchise history, 101-91. Jack Blackwell led with 19 points, so he might be the difference maker for us. He also had 7 rebounds that game. Then Dante Bayless had a really good game, 17 points. D'Angelo only 12 points, but still played pretty good. But yeah, I'm really surprised with Bayless, 23 minutes and 17 points, while the others had like 30-something minutes. Richie Teague, 11 points. Same with Erickson. It was a pretty good team effort, it looks like, nonetheless. Let's do the team comparison again. So we had the exact same field goal percentage as they did. 3-point percentage, we were better from 3-point range, which made a difference, obviously. Free throw rate wise, we beat them as well. Fast break points, they beat us still, so they're really good at fast break points. Points in the paint were also in their favor. Second chance points goes to us, so we were just a really good rebounding team, and that gave us the chance to get more points. Bench points, we were better, obviously, as well, because that's total points. Assists, we were better. We were better in offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds. So yeah, the rebounding came down to being the difference almost, I think. Steals, we were better in. Blocks, they were better in. Turnovers, they had more of. They had more fouls, probably because of intentional fouls. Their biggest lead was by 14. Ours was by 10 points, which is by the final. And we had the possession for like 5 more minutes than they did. So, and all in all, a pretty good series to start off with for the first 2 games. I'm trying to kind of take this a bit slow because I know the simulation speed could go fast. So I just wanted to give you guys a little information on each game so it's a little bit better. So here we go, first ever playoff game in Vancouver because the Vancouver Grizzlies never made the playoffs. So let's see if we could win a playoff game on home court as well. That would be pretty awesome. So here we go, game 3 underway. Let's go down to this time of simulation. 26, yeah, we're winning right now, but it's still really tight again. Yeah, this is the type of series that might go 7 games if it continues to be close like this throughout. Because we're already in a back and forth like standstill, and we're at halftime. Come on, guys, do it for the fans. Cleveland is playing hard as well, and they're kind of trying to run away a bit. Oh, they're getting a lot of points now. Yeah, we might have given up a little bit too much there, and that might be the difference maker unless we can still come back from this. Yeah, we're gonna lose this game, I think. Because usually it's like the first team to 100 points almost guarantee wins. And yeah, we just gave up too much in this 4th quarter, and we're going to lose 121-107. Still a pretty damn good like 3rd game. So we won the first 2 quarters, but they just like destroyed us in that 3rd quarter, and then that 4th quarter was pretty close as well. So if we would have played better in the 3rd, maybe we would have won that game. So box score, D'Angelo Russell 16 points, Blackwell 14, Teague 13, Warren 13. It was another good team effort, it looks like, nonetheless. Team comparison, we were better at field goal oh no, they were better at field goal. It's on the opposite side now. They were way better at field goal percentage than us. We were better from 3-point range again, so hopefully that helps out next game. They were better from their free throws, but we had a lot more of them, so they fouled a lot. We were 26 for 30. They had more fast break points again, so that might be the difference maker. They had more points in the paint. They had more second chance points. They had way more assists. Offensive rebounds they also had more of. Defensive rebounds, yeah, they pretty much beat us in all categories except for like steals and whatnot. So yeah, we definitely want to. Wow, 2017 fouls. They fouled a lot in that game. Biggest lead they had was by 16 points, which I think was I don't remember when that was. And our biggest lead was by 8 points. And we actually had the possession for most of the game and we still lost. So we got to have a good rebounding game from this though. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if we're gonna. Let's actually go to our coaching game plan and let's just go rebuild rotations and see if they changed anything. Just because I wanted this team to perform as best as they can. So let's get into game 4 and see if we could tie the series or will we fall down 3-1. In the NBA, it's actually not as hard as the NHL to come back from a 3-1 series deficit. So let's see if we could win this game and keep this series alive pretty much. Well, it'll be still alive no matter what, but let's see if we could take a game in Vancouver. It'd be just nice to give the fans a playoff win on home court, I think. It's another tight game. Not a surprise, though. Once one team kind of gets going, then that team might more than likely will win. Like I said, the first team that gets 100 points is usually the one that wins it, unless it's still really close like this game is. Come on, guys. They're up by 10. They have a big lead right now, but we could still come back. We could still come back, and we're trying our best, and it's a very close game again. Wow, okay. Here we go. Come on, guys. Come on, let's do this. We need some big time plays from our players. Final 3 minutes, only down by a couple points. And we lose only by 3 points, and we're down 3-1 in the series. Damn. We played better than them in the third, but they outscored us in the second and the fourth. We had an even first quarter. Damn, we only lost by 3 points, and Jack Blackwell had a really great game, 26 points. So we have to win 3 in a row, which is going to be very tough, but we won our first ever playoff game, which I'm very surprised we actually managed to do so. And the series has been a lot closer than I expected too, because the Cavs finished like the 5th best team to get into the playoffs, while we finished like the 12th, I think it said. I don't even remember. It was closer to the bottom of the list. But field goal percentage, they were better just barely by 2%. 3-point percentage, they were better in, so that also made a difference. Yeah, we weren't really good on our 3-point game, that one. 6 for 22. Free throw percentage was pretty even. They had 10 fast break points and we had none, so it seems like our team's just not a team that does fast breaking a lot. Points in the paint, we lost that by only a couple. Second chance points was the same. Yeah, it was a pretty even game. We had a lot of assists this game. They had more rebounds. We had more steals as well. They had more blocks. Biggest lead they had was by 14 points. Our biggest lead was by 7 points. And it was a very close game in terms of possession. Only like a minute or like almost 2 minutes separating the two teams. Okay. So once again, I'm going to go rebuild our rotation just to see if it does anything different. But we need to win 3 games in a row, which is going to be very tough to do against this Cleveland team. But let's see if we could somehow win at least one of these games. Or at least, maybe let's try and win 2 games. Because I wouldn't mind winning a game in Vancouver still in the playoffs. So here we go. Game number 4. Let's see if we can stay alive. Let's put it to this. Wow, that's way too quick. Okay, we're already in the second quarter, and it's another tight game, but we have a 10-point lead. Come on, boys, let's do this. Let's go, Orcas. We have actually a pretty big lead. Now, let's just not sit on it. Let's keep adding to it. Because we're leading by like 20 points right now. Yeah, we're starting the fourth. I think we're going to win this game. So we're going to stay alive another day, I believe, unless this team just completely botches it in the last like 4 minutes of the game. Which is definitely not looking like it's going to happen, is we're going to win game number 4 by a score of, or game number 5, right? Yeah, game number 5 of a score of 130 to 103. 130 points. Damn. 21 points from D'Angelo, 19 from Hamlin, who's almost back to being full health, I think. So he played injured, but he put up 19 points. Blackwell, 18, Warren, 17. So those big guys showed up when they needed to. 130 points, pretty good. So team comparison, we were way better in field goal percentage, 58%, so we were pretty good at shooting that game. 3-point percentage, we were just a tad bit better, but they did make more of them, and they had more opportunities to make them. We were better also in free throws. They had more fast break points as usual. We had way more points in the point by 20. So yeah, second chance points also we beat them. Assist wise, they beat us. Rebounding, we beat them defensively, so that's probably what also kept them a bit off the scoreboard. Steals, we beat them. Blocks, we actually beat them for a change. So they've been leading the block game for the last 3 or 4 games, and we finally get one. Turnovers, they had way more turnovers. They had one more foul than us, and our biggest lead was at the near the end of the game, which was like 29 points. We also had possession for only a minute and 50 seconds more than they did, so to get 27 more points is pretty good. Okay, let's rebuild that rotation again. Sorry if this episode runs long by comparison to the other episodes, it's just because I want to take it slow with the playoffs. This is only round 1. Hopefully we get to round 2. We are at a 3-2 series. If we could win this game, we have a chance to win it, obviously, because it will go to a game 7. So here we go, guys. Come on, Vancouver. Let's win on home court in the playoffs. That would be just really awesome, and to force a game 7 would be pretty good as well. So here we go. Game number 6. Let's go to this speed. It's hard to get the speed thing like to move to a certain, like, it's not like a button in like in NHL. You just want to put the simulation speed up by moving the joystick. So it's kind of a weird system. And once again, we got another close game. It might come down to the fourth quarter again unless some team could just run away with it. Come on, boys. The series is on the line here. Still a close game. Who's going to show up for us? This might be like a one last player shoots and wins the game if it stays like this throughout. Oh, we're up by a couple points. We're at 100 points. Come on, guys. Keep burning up. We might force a game 7 if we could hold them off. They're trying their best to get back in this game, and they're very close to. And we're going to win 123-116 as we win our first ever playoff game on home court. And we're going to be going to a game 7 in our first ever playoff series, which is pretty awesome. So they won the first 2 quarters, but we won the last 2, which made the difference, especially that fourth quarter. So D'Angelo had 26 points, and, oh man, Jack Blackwell had 21 points, but look at that, there's an injury symbol, which means he must have suffered an injury to end the season, which means we're going to be without one of our other great players, which means we have probably no chance of winning this now, unless D'Angelo Russell could just go off. Hamlin also played good. There you go. Team comparison. We beat them in field goal percentage. We beat them in three-pointers by a lot, 60% from three-point range. Free throws, we beat them 89%. Nice. Fast break points, they once again beat us. Points in the paint, they beat us. Second chance points, they beat us. Assists, they beat us. So it was a pretty good game for them as well, despite us beating them by 7 points. We blocked more balls as well, so that's good. Those made a difference, I think. Our biggest lead was by 10 points. Theirs was by 7 points. And they had the possession for more of the game, but they still lost. Okay, so let's actually take a look at... let's go to our coaching thing and get that lineup set up again. Let's take a look at that injury to Jack Blackwell. How long is he out for? Tom Morgan will be back in 1 to 2 weeks if we could get on to the next round. But Jack Blackwell is now out for 4 to 6 weeks with a severe left ankle sprain. So, yeah, we might get Tom Morgan back soon if we make the next round. But Jack Blackwell will miss the next 2 rounds or 3 rounds. He might miss the rest of the season almost at this rate, which really sucks. So, Game 7, it comes down to this. Can we win in Cleveland and move on to the second round for the first time in franchise history? Let's go. We're not off to a good start, though. I don't want to go that speed. Still pretty close game here, even without Blackwell in the lineup. Just really sucks that Blackwell went down because, like I said, he had like 20-something points in one of the games, and he's been one of our big difference makers in like this playoffs and then during the regular season as well. Come on, boys. It's a close game again. Yeah, this is a very close series. No wonder it went to 7. Like I think I just said, like at the beginning of the episode, it might go 7 games. Because possession and everything like that is very close, and we're almost up by 10 points. Oh baby, well, it looks like we're going to move on to the second round for the first time in franchise history. Your Vancouver Orcas have upset the Cleveland Cavaliers 114 to 106 and win in 7 games to move on to the second round for the first time, and will face like the Minnesota Timberwolves, I think it said. So D'Angelo Russell and Kelly Warren had a good game. So Kelly Warren might fill the shoes for Jack Blackwell while he's out. But there's the rest of the points. We are on to the second round somehow. So we've never lost a playoff like series before. So field goal percentage, we were better than they were. We were better in 3-point range again. They were better from free throws. They were 5 for 5, but we didn't really foul that much, it looks like. Points in the paint were close. Second chance points were close. Assists were right on the nose. Offensive rebounds we had more of. We had more defensive rebounds. They had more steals. We had way more blocks, so that came down to being a difference. 11 blocks to 1. Turnovers we had more of. Team fouls, yeah, they had double our fouls, so we were just a better, like, kind of like laid back team, I guess you could say. Our biggest point lead was by 16 points. There was by 9 points, and we had possession for like 5 more minutes than they did. So we somehow moved on to the next round of the playoffs. Let's actually sim the current round so we could see the rest of those matchups. So it's us in Minnesota, the 4th seeded team. We just knocked out the 5th seed, so we could potentially knock out the 4th seed. Then there's Atlanta, who has Lothar Lindman, and Sacramento, the 1st seed and the 8th seed. There's Boston and Phoenix, the 2nd and the 7th seed. And then there's Memphis and Portland, the 3rd and the 11th seed. So we'll take a look at the roster for Minnesota shortly. Sorry if this episode is running long because it's already at like 26 minutes, I think. So let's take a look at that roster, and then that'll be it for this episode. So Minnesota Timberwolves, what do you guys have? Actually, I should just go to the playoff matchup and look at their team thing, right? Yeah, that's what I could do. Okay, so their average age is 28, so they're older than us. They've had 14 playoff appearances. They've never won a championship. They had a higher budget than us, so they might have a better team. So let's see. They have Sean Cooper, 86 point guard, 87 Victor Oladipo's over there now. Stephen Ellis Jr., 84. Mohamed Bamba's there as a 90. Mitchell Robinson, 85. Jaden Johnson, 83. Damn, yeah, this is a very scary team. And they also have Frederick Blackwell, so you could see Jack Blackwell's brother. Interesting. They also have Marvin McGee, Mo Cooper, Peter Mitchell, Jordan Bell, our former player. He was with us for, I think, a few seasons. Yeah, a few years ago. He played with us in 2023. Conrad Stewart, Diamantopoulos, I don't know how to pronounce that. Alfred Payton looks like he's dropping off a lot for some reason. It's because of age, I think. Calvin Bryan, Evan Best. So they have a very good squad nonetheless. They are apparently in the power rankings worse than where Cleveland was sitting, so that might make a difference. There's their coaching staff. There's their strengths and their weaknesses. They were really bad from the 3-point range, which means we could beat them because of our 3-point shooting. And then during the season, they finished 52 and 30. And yeah, there's their individual team stats. And against us during the season, I don't know how we played against them. But let's see how they did against us in the season series kind of thing. So they averaged 110 points per game. Yeah, they also did pretty decent against us, but we just beat Cleveland, so we have a chance to definitely win this. They allowed 101 points per game, and they scored 110, so it looks like it might be another close series. And then their best shooting is inside that key. Yeah, everything else is not as good. So, anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Orca's MyLeague series. So, in next episode, we will take it to round 2, where we face off against the Minnesota Timberwolves and look to get to that conference finals for the first time in franchise history. So, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.